Hi, this is Lauren.
This is Dominic.
From Desilu Wine Co. We're here to talk about the wines in your package today. So starting first, we're going to Mexico, to the Baja region. We're really excited about the wines that have been coming out of that area, and fortunately we had the pleasure of meeting True, the proprietor here at this estate. And the wine itself here is a mix of Nebbiolo, Cab Franc, and Cabernet Sauvignon. The thing I want to point out about it is that the Nebbiolo you might be used to from, say, Piedmont. Very, very different in style. There's some debate as to even if it's the same grape. They're doing genetic testing to see that. So this is going to be on the flavor profile. If you want to talk a little bit more.
much fuller, much richer, sort of broader note and a little bit more concentration. And definitely in par with Cabernet, I would say. Maybe a little softer tannins, if anything. And keeping going from Adobe, Guadalupe, but staying in the same Baja region, we're going with Ocho, partnership of 8 people that are bringing forward a small production. This one is called Bruma. You have Cabernet Sauvignon, about 50% again, but the other 50% are led to Petite Syrah. A very exciting region, a lot happening, and a quality that is going up, and this is why we're bringing it to you right now. Since we mentioned Nebbiolo, we're going to do a little Nebbiolo here, going with a Reservoir 2008, so really a perfect stage to approach a Nebbiolo varietal. This is not on the Barolo side, but on the Barbaresco side. A lot of perfume, a lot of refinement. We'll stay in Italy with Torrasi in Campania. I think that Aglianico is overlooked by most. This is Terre Irpine, a tremendous estate that takes great pride with Aglianico on the Torrasi. Reservoir, yes, we're going back all the way to 2005. So definitely some maturity needed for a rustic and hearty wine. After that, we are jumping over to...
We'll head to France, starting first in the Alsace region with the Pinot Noir. So we're seeing a lot of really beautiful Pinots coming out of the Alsace region now. Typically, or prior to this time, it was more the domains making it just for their own consumption, but now we're finding a lot more available on the market, and I think this is a beautiful representation of one of those examples coming from their 2017 on the vintage.
Yeah, very Burgundian on style. And here we're going to the Germany, right across the border from Alsace, so very, very near. That's why we put them together. And you see there Riesling, you even see some Grüner Veltliners, some Sylvaners. You don't see as much Pinot Gris anymore, but this is a very old vineyard, ancient vineyard, and they make literally just about a couple of 100 cases every year. And some years they don't make it at all. We land into a different cuvée or sold out as a bulk. But Grau Burgunder, Pinot Gris, and with a lot of broad characters, a pretty special wine across the board. We're going after that to...
back to France here on this one.
Yes. So 2018s are coming strong on the market on Burgundy release. So we're going with Frédéric Monin, old vine vineyard of Gevrey-Chambertin. It's a vintage that shows definitely a lot of opulence, a lot of flesh. And so this is still drinking very, very much on a prime sort of stage, more fruit forward, but the terroir is still showing behind. Which leaves us now with 2 Marsanais, a little bit lower on the appellation of the Côte de Beaune.
The bottles look similar, but they're different, yeah.
Indeed. So you have a single vineyard, the Champs Saint-Martin, excuse me. And on the other bottling, you have a cuvée per se of different sites. They're both 2014 on the vintage, so starting to be at a very good stage for drinking. And Marsanais has a nice rusticity, especially under the making of Philippe Roti of the domain Joseph Roti estate, one of our favorite Burgundy producers. He does anything from Grand Cru, one of the best Grand Crus there is, on the Massy-Chambertin, and all the way to Bourgogne and you name it, but an incredible panoply of Burgundies. A quick staging in Catalonia, in the Priorat area, a land that is, even though ancient, still new when it comes to regulations. And here you have, of course, the Garnacha, but also Carignan, and because they allow many more varietals into the blends there at this point in time, you have Cabernet and you have a little bit of Merlot. So definitely a true Priorat, embracing a little bit of the old world and the new world all at once. Galena 2012 on the vintage, a little bit of needed age indeed in it.
And then to finish off, it wouldn't be the correct holiday package without some champagne. So we have two different producers. So the first one here is indeed a grower producer. So they see the product from the beginning and all the way to the very end. This is a 2008 vintage. And I want to point out too that it was just disgorged earlier this year. So spent a lot of time on the lees, which allows for so much more complexity to come through in the champagne, and you'll definitely taste that in this champagne, and both champagnes actually. So then moving over to the Domaine, the Dual Domaine, I believe you might have had a different champagne from this producer, but this is the vintage champagne, so this is 2011 on the vintage. And something that I want to point out is it says extra brut, but there's actually 0 dosage, so no sugar was added in the process of making this champagne. I would say this is definitely a very food friendly. I would recommend this one with champagne, and if you're wanting one more to start the evening, I would select this one for that. So hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.